Happy Pride, everybody. Thanks for joining us today in the locker room. I'm Alan Locher, and I grew up watching As the World Turns and Guiding Light. As I was stuck in quarantine, I was thinking about the shows that I grew up watching and thought some of you, like myself, might be missing some of those shows, and that's why I created the locker room. As some of you know, June is Pride Month, and we thought we'd get together for a little Pride viewing party from a new soap opera that's been called The Gay Dynasty. It's called Melange, and today we've got a few of the great cast members with us. Kristen Alderson, who plays Abigail, Maya Days, who plays Carroll, Omar Sharif Jr., who plays Zayn, and the creator, writer, executive producer, Tom Dangora. So let's say hello to everybody. Hey, Kristen.
Hello.
Maya, Omar. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Pride.
Hey, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Cheers.
I'll toast to that.
Cheers to you all.
Yeah.
It's 8 p.m., right? We're allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 5 p.m. somewhere, sweetheart.
It's COVID-19. We're allowed anytime.
You all look fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom, why don't we start with you and tell us where you get where the concept, the idea for this new show Melange came from.
Sure. Well, it's kind of it takes place in kind of a fictionalized Stonewall, which is perfect for Pride. And the idea came to me many years ago. I used to bring shows to Provincetown, Massachusetts every summer. And the bar that I did the shows in, one of the owners unexpectedly died. And a true soap opera played out in front of me. Forget obituaries, forget memorializing her. All anyone was talking about, who gets the bar? There were all these rumors that I was going to hostily take it over and fire everyone. And I just sat there being like, and this place is a trash can. Imagine if it was like a really renowned establishment. And I thought,
and did you say this bar was in Provincetown?
Yes, it was the Post Office Cabaret.
Oh yeah.
And
Provincetown is one of my favorite places on earth.
Yeah, well, I did Naked Boys Singing there in this mega hit drag show called Icons, and that's kind of where the idea came from. And and I even talked to like the Naked Boys. I said to someone, I think I'm going to do this like in the fall. How's your acting? I will never forget asking one of them, "How's your acting?" And he said, "Good." But it wasn't him. We didn't cast him. He's fine. He's dating Jerry Mitchell now, so he's fine.
That's great. Have you all been to Provincetown?
Yes. I haven't, but Kathy Breyer sang a song called Provincetown on the One Life Many Voices CD, and I love that song. So
I need to listen to that.
Yeah.
Lance Horn, the great Lance Horn, wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. So like I said at the beginning, June is Pride Month. Omar, what does Pride mean to you?
I mean, Pride for me is more than a parade. It's about purpose and it's about power. And it's really inspiring, especially this year, to see so many people take to the streets and to declare and demand the values that they believe in, which is inclusivity, which is diversity, stating that Black Lives Matter. So again, it's about power, it's about purpose, and we're back to our roots, which is super amazing. That's how it should be.
Well, and to remember that it really wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Black community, the Black trans community, really, for rioting at Stonewall. I did a show yesterday on Pride, and we talked a lot about that, and it talked about Marsha P. Washington and all of the history that a lot of, I think, gays today don't really know, that if it wasn't for sort of the Black movement at that time, we wouldn't have the rights that we have today.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's amazing. The LGBT community really is the most intersectional community. We're all issues. We're racial justice issues. We're gun violence issues. We're healthcare issues. We're women's rights issues. And if we lose ground on any of them, we lose ground on all of them as a community. And so it's really important that we stand up for all of these issues. And again, it's great that this year we're doing it, and we're doing it loudly.
Correct. And all of these people, not just the issues, but all of these people, all walks of life. Tom, right. Somebody's commenting on how cute your dog is.
Oh, she was making a lot of noise, so I had to pick her. I just thought since we were talking pride, it wasn't gay enough with me talking for sure. Behind me, talking about my gay show, so I thought my 4-pound dog should be.
That's hilarious.
And what does it mean for you?
So cute.
Tom, what does it mean for you?
Me?
Pride. What does pride mean for you?
I was taking away the dog because my husband was telling me, yelling, tell them she's named Emelina LaLucci because she was born on Susan Lucci's birthday.
Of course she is. Of course she is.
Well, it's hard to top what Omar said because he's brilliant, but I'm second generation, so I had a gay dad in the 80s who was, made Liberace look butch. So, I was doing, the AIDS walks in Boston and going to block parties when I was 10 years old. I actually marched in the very first ever youth pride march in the history of the planet Earth when I was 14, which was super fun. And so
did you say youth?
Youth, yes.
And where was that?
It was in Boston.
Wow.
Governor Weld, a Republican governor, how times have changed. But it was, so I never actually came out. I just always was. So, but I didn't take it for granted. And I grew up on Cape Cod, really close to Provincetown. And I spent 12 summers in a row there. So just pride's kind of been a 12-month, 7-day a week, 24-hour a day thing for me since I was a kid. I kind of live 24/7 pride. But it's fabulous. And, because I don't think it's a monthly thing, like Omar was saying. I think it's a fight that we have to fight every second of every day, along with the other social justice fights. Otherwise, we won't ever hit our goals. It's not something that just comes up when we're celebrating it, when people decide to sanction a month for us, when something horrifying happens and we take to the street. It also exists during the quiet times.
But it is pretty amazing for somebody, I don't know how old you are. I'm 53. Coming out was a bigger thing for me. It was a process. It was something, my dad unfortunately didn't know before he passed. Mom was as cool as possible. But yeah, it's interesting. And May, you performed at clubs all over New York with all of your great music. I wish I could play more than one thing at a time on this platform because I really wanted to play part of your video, but since we're showing Melange, I had to pick that one for today.
Absolutely.
But what do you remember about just performing at clubs and the gay following?
Well, my mom, I grew up in a single parent household. I'm interracial. I grew up with my white mom in Massachusetts, and my mom was surrounded by very, very culturally advanced people who have, and most of them were gay men, with music and fashion and food, like chefs and designers and stuff like that. Like my mom went to Studio 54. I remember my grandparents' house because I was born, I'm your age. So my mom, she was just in it. She was really, really in it. So she played Sylvester records and she played, Donna Summer was big in a house before she went crazy. And I love Donna Summer, but you know what I mean? Like I knew really great stuff. It wasn't, I didn't understand what the difference was because it's all I knew. It's all I knew. So I don't mean to discount it. I actually didn't know I was Black until, kind of like I was 4 and 5 and someone told me I was different. Do you know what I mean? So that's my foundation. I know you didn't ask me that, but so by the time I was doing dance music and I was singing this anthem called Feel It, where people would just see in the video, at the end of the video, 2 men kiss. And that was a big deal. That really was a big, big deal in 1998. You would think in 1998 that it was a big deal for it to come forth in a dance song on MTV where I was like that, because I wasn't Freddie Mercury. I wasn't that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was this huge message and people went nuts over it.
We didn't have those images on television.
No.
Really,
And I was like the little, you know, the little muse that was like giggling, like, you know, stop it, people. You know, it was like the joke's on you. It's like this really beautiful, these two beautiful men. And it was liberating, I feel like, for a lot of people, you know, to be able to see that. And everyone came to me and they said, oh my God, thank you so much. Because it had more to do, my video had more to do with them and less to do with me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, representation, no matter where it is, for whatever, you know, sector, means something to each of us.
Absolutely.
Kristen, have you experienced Pride in New York? I mean, you
a ton of it, and I lived in West Hollywood for years too. So I lived near Santa Monica, which is just the most fun and amazing place to be. My cousin is actually gay. She's married to a woman. They have 2 beautiful children, and my best friend Nick is married to his wonderful husband. They have a child, and it's been a part of my life, and it's something that is so beautiful. Love is.
Who's your best friend?
What?
Who'd you say your best friend was? Wow.
Wow.
Hold on, I have to go write her out of episode 2.
But no, I mean, love is love, and it should be more normalized than it actually is. I mean, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So I think there's still a lot of work to do, and I think that that it's what's not to love, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will, Maya, I'm going to post a link to the video once this goes up on my YouTube page, because fans are asking. So I'm going to put a link to that video so they can watch it there.
Tell them that my abs are still the same now.
They can hear you. They can hear you.
Everyone, my abs are the same now as in the video. I'm just not comfortable like standing up right now, but honestly, it's all the same.
And I really do have to ask as well, and then I want Tom to talk a little about casting all of you fabulous people. But Maya, what was it like playing Mimi?
Oh my God. literally, for me, Rent is a religion. And I really mean that.
I completely agree.
and if you don't agree, then it's blasphemy and you're sacrificing. And it's really that simple. And I was like, first of all, I was insane. So
what'd you say? Insane?
Yes.
Insane. So Equity came in. I forget what city.
That's the Actors Union for theater.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Equity came in, and I was up on the, for Out Tonight, and I would get up on the bar and not use my hand and jump from like section to section with no hands, like a crazy person, and jump, like not use my hands. And Equity said, okay, if she does that again, we're going to find this company and all of the companies. And if she does it again, we're going to close the show because she's going to fall 15 feet. So, and so the director came to me and they were like, you kind of can't do that. Please don't do that. When I got to London, the resident director for Michael Greif, she came to me and she said, well, now we're in London and they don't care if you fall and break your face. You want. And it was so, but Mimi, the message, the vulnerability, the pain, the conflict, and being around all that love, like all that love. I mean, my mind was blown and I cried real tears every night.
And one of our fans just wrote, Rent is a damn religion, la vie bohème. But now every time I say Mimi, and I've heard you say Mimi, I keep hearing Mimi. Yes. I keep hearing it in my head. It's playing in my head.
You can YouTube her. It's grainy because it's.
I will absolutely.
This right here, fans. You can see this. This was outside the Nederlander.
You can't see it.
Oh wow, yeah, on 41st.
Can you see it? It's me.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's a great picture. Wow.
It was life-changing, the best.
I could listen to that music 24/7.
Oh my God.
Kristen, I know because we had you on, I just want to talk a little more to Omar and then let Tom speak if that's okay, and then we'll talk in, when there are some breaks. Omar, is acting something you always wanted to do? I know it, your grandfather, it's in the blood, but is it something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, it was always something I wanted to do, but it was something that I was It was something that I was afraid of for a long time, and mostly because I saw some of the pitfalls that came with the industry being so close to it. My grandfather had a wonderful life, as did my grandmother, but there were also certain disadvantages to it, to leading such a public life, to the troubles with depression and alcoholism and gambling thereafter. So it was something that scared me a lot. And at the end of the day, you just can't deny yourself what you love. So you just got to embrace it, go full force, and learn from the mistakes that I witnessed.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad you're all here. Tom, talk about the cast, and then I'd say let's start the show.
Oh my. Yeah, so
Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous.
I never get nervous. But you know, the cast is, I'm still shocked. You know, you'll play the episode and I will watch it and go, wow, I can't believe they said yes. You know, you know, like I said, I knew Kristen would be the role she was, and I tailored it to her. Maya, after she was Aida, did a musical called No Strings in New York that she got rave reviews for. And it was a historical trailblazing musical that Diane Carroll starred in. And I believe it was the first interracial couple on stage.
Kiss. First interracial kiss.
First interracial kiss.
An American stage ever.
And, you know, we know
and
Diane
Tom,
Carroll. Yes.
Sorry, before you continue, but I also want you to talk how you met Maya. And Maya, also, I want your chair. You look like you're in the most comfortable.
I want the chair too.
I am not in a chair like that, and I want that chair for my show.
Yeah, we're done.
Epic.
She plays the villain well. That you need a big chair. Maya played this role that Diane Carroll originated, and you know, Diane Carroll was known for being a trailblazer, of course, and for having to put herself out there. And the famous story is she was at a party and she saw Aaron Spelling and went up and said, you know, your show Dynasty is pretty good, but you know what you need? What'd she say, Maya? What does the show need?
Your show needs a black bitch.
The show needs a black bitch. And it certainly did, because Dominique Devereaux was everything we wanted.
Everything.
And so Maya's whole life, she got Diane Carroll. Even she met Diane Carroll once, who said she sees it, you know? And so I always said, you know, one day I'm going to do this show, you are going to play my black bitch, and you will be named Carroll after Diane Carroll. And we call her Carol Davis because people always say her name correctly. She's Maya Days. People call her Maya. And oftentimes people call her Maya Davis, which I don't understand.
I know, it's so weird.
So weird. So that's why it was, I named her Carol Davis. But, you know,
I didn't know, that's a great story.
That's why. And I knew, you know, when I started writing this, I wanted Morgan Fairchild's character, Vivian King, to kind of have someone who worked for her who was tough enough to give it back, you know, and I didn't want her to have assistants. So Maya plays the head of global operations, where Morgan's character treats her like an assistant, so she has to constantly remind her, well, I'm the head of global operations. I'm a millionaire too. But, you know, so I've known Maya 18 years because when she was Aida, I stalked her and saw the show 30 times and told her, I met her backstage and said, you know, we're going to be best friends, right? It's just get into it now because it's happening. So we always said we were going to do that. And when I wrote the show,
I love that, Tom. That, you know, it really speaks to, you know, your strength and your personality.
Oh, 100%. And brought me a dozen roses every other time.
You're a liar.
Every other run.
You're a liar. I always threw you a dozen roses, and then when you were done, I handed you 2 dozen.
Oh,
3 dozen performance.
Sorry.
Wow.
You got 90 dozen roses from me during that run.
Oh my God. And then my final show? On my final show?
Okay, real quick, because we got to put the show. I bought just dozens and dozens and dozens of roses. And I passed them out to everyone in the first 4 rows. So when she bowed, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of roses just pelted her. Adina Menzel was in the show with her, and of course bowed two people before her because Maya was the star, not Adina. And we all love Adina too. So I would throw single roses to Adina so she wasn't forgotten. And as she bowed, it got caught under her foot, and Adina almost face planted in her final show. Cousin me.
Because of Tom. Because of Tom Jankora.
Glamorous in Broadway. But again, what Omar was saying, there's just so much in our community that is so much more than the clubs and the parties. And I really wanted to weave that into the show. And I wanted the storylines to have, some kind of social weight to them in a fabulous way, the same way Agnes Nixon did with All My Children and One Life to Live, where you kind of got tricked into social justice. It was woven in baby switches and, coming back from the dead and going back in time. But there was always an incredible message. And one of the things I really wanted to do with the casting, which I almost achieved my goal, it was an independent shoot and it didn't have a lot of money. But I really wanted to beat the averages. I didn't want anyone in the show to feel like they were a token. If America is 60% white, I was not going to allow my ensemble to be more than 60% white. And that's what we really did. I'm really proud of on our budget, on our limited time. We actually really did do it. And our show is like the United States of America.
Yeah, you do. You have a real, my good friend Jessica Lucia, who works with Maya, with Morgan and Maya.
Yep.
I love that the three of you, as the two of you as you circle Morgan, and then of course Robert Newman, Mark Indelicato, right? Is that how you pronounce this?
Yep.
Alex Newell, David Gregory,
the great Darnell Williams.
Yeah, everybody, Kristen Alderson, everybody was so lovely. That's a real thing. People were nice. Like they were.
It makes it fun to go to work, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I have zero patience. We can ask Tom that, but
for not nice, you mean? For not, when it's
not nice.
Yeah.
Nice for this. I love confidence. I love knowledge, and you can check me anytime when it's coming from a place of love and I have your back. But being unkind. And it's not, I just don't have any patience for it. But in this particular situation, there was none of that. No, everyone was so lovely. And because our time was limited and our budget was limited, you didn't hear anyone complain about that. Everybody wanted to do their job and helped each other. It was so beautiful.
Okay. I'm going to ask two quick questions and then start. So, Kristen, somebody wants to know how your brother's doing.
He's doing so well. So actually on Tuesday, he had another scan. My brother had cancer for 3 years. And
babe, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, thank you.
Nailed it.
He was cancer-free in September. He just got deemed cancer-free after 3 years. And then
great.
So he gets checkups every month and a half. And so he had another clean scan on Tuesday.
Great.
That's great.
So yeah.
Cheers to that.
And he is the best guy you will ever meet.
He is.
And then a family like you just don't even understand this family. How wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
It's so important to remain positive. When things get thrown your way, he was stage 4 and, he had a big fight, but he did it. So when the odds seem like you're not going to make it, you just have to have a positive mindset.
That's the best message because a co-star from As the World Turns, one of our Marnie Schulenberg.
I pray for her every night.
Yeah, but she's got fighters and she's being
that spirit, and
she has that. That's what made me think of it. She's got your brother's spirit, so let's all pray for that. And the last thing before we start, Tom, is they noticed the painting. So if you can talk about the painting.
The Queen. And that's why I'm drinking champagne tonight, because every great soap villainess has champagne, from Angela Channing, the one and only Dorian Lord, to the great Alexis Morel Carrington Cole.
And they want to know how you got it.
Robin. Dorian.
I gave it to you. Yeah.
Oh, we're like this.
Dorian.
We're very close to Robin.
Maya calls her Rob.
Maya, if you wanted to see two unbelievably strong, powerful divas just fall in love, it happened instantaneously when they met They met after a Wonderettes show one night when Robin came to see me, and it
was amazing.
It was amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, should we get started?
All
right, so
the show. Everyone needs to do this at home with their friends. If you haven't already, I think if you haven't seen the show and you watch it tonight, I think you'll want to do it after this.
All right, so I will probably be backstage. The four of you will be on the side. Remember, your mics are open. You could mute them if you wanted to on your end, but just so you know, if you know the show's going to be playing. So,
how do I just hit mute?
I'm gonna mute.
Yeah, you could hit mute if you want. So I'm going to play. Let's see what happens here.
Wait, how often do you guys want to comment?
Oh, okay.
Commentating a lot. I feel like we
Are
were.
we supposed to comment on it, or do we just watch it?
No, we're supposed to commentate. That's the thing.
Oh my
Definitely
God!
comment. I mean, comment where you want. Comment where you want to. Feel free. It's it's your show, Tom. It's your.
All right, but I need Kristen to be a little more star and a little less Kiki right now because she's giving me attitude.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna hit play. Are you ready?
Yay!
Here we go, everybody.
You fixed my hair. Okay.
My name is Hunter Black, and I make documentaries. My latest film is about Melange, the historic gay bar in New York, about to celebrate its 40th anniversary, which is pretty dope considering where this country was back then, and where it is today, actually. Melange was at the center of the gay rights movement, the AIDS crisis, and the fight for marriage equality. And the man who kept the doors open through all of this was Sid Winchester.
How's the footage looking, Hunter?
Legend.
Did you get my good side, baby?
Oh, I'm looking at footage of you right now, Dolly. Every side's your good side.
Let's go, everybody! You starting next. So Sid calls me up and he says, I want to open up a place where people can do anything that they damn well please with anyone that they damn well please.
Shot of whiskey.
Whoa.
Don't say you're having another drink.
Take it easy, detective. I'm not driving or operating heavy machinery, and last time I checked, you're not the bouncer here anymore.
Okay. Look, I'm just looking out for an old friend.
Well, he's got a point there. No, I'm not used to seeing you drink the hard stuff.
I feel so anxious. I need to calm my nerves, and I've already tried alternate nostril breathing and yoga.
Alternate nostril breathing? Look, I get it. I'll have one too. I'll join you.
Now you're talking. I hate drinking alone.
Well, I guess I'll have one too.
What was so great about working here was that I wasn't just the transgender bouncer.
Hot.
I was just Alex.
So
Muscle.
cute.
So hot.
God.
Ugh.
I didn't get to meet him, but he seems like
Why do I ever think that editing in this bar would be good for inspiration? If you don't let me finish this, I'm not gonna have this thing ready until the 50th anniversary.
Can't believe Melange has been open for almost 40 years.
40th anniversary.
That character is based on me in real life.
You.
Careful, detective. I've been known to poison a few drinks in my time.
Eileen's wigs are fabulous.
Closing time already.
A lot of them came from her home.
You know, I don't feel like closing.
They were hers?
A lot of them.
Everybody!
According to New York State liquor.
Oh,
Legend.
You always have to think like a lawyer.
You know I do, because I am a lawyer. And you, my love, as your wife, I think you need some rest, right? Come on, let's go home.
Okay, Genesis, make the announcement.
Wow.
I love them together.
Wish you the most elegant of evenings.
Alex!
And thank you for coming to Melange, where the drinks are cheap and the...
Please, Alex
Lord
Newell.
knows I was a mess when I stumbled into Melange. Drugs,
Isn't that shirt
alcohol,
amazing?
you name it. Had it not been
We
for
bought
Sid,
it
I
next
probably
door. It was a
would have
last
hid
minute
myself into the
opportunity.
grave. He saw my potential, put me on stage, handed me a microphone, and gave me a true purpose for living. And then Sid had to go ahead and hire this fool, come here, please, to bar back and to steal my heart.
So beautiful.
Now, take your shirt off, show people what they want.
I'm also in medical school.
He's so talented.
Anything.
I got me a doctor.
I'll start packing up.
Oh, don't worry. Keep working, baby.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Now, you didn't edit me to look like a crazy bitch, right?
The fabulous Diana DeGarmo.
Did you know that Ryan's parents threw him out for being gay?
Let's just keep this about.
I love that pose. Who posed her like that?
I would guess.
Well,
Gary.
my mother abandoned me when I was a teen, and foster homes weren't as fun or as comfortable as hanging out with Ryan. We just clicked the instant we met.
Right, Kristen?
So grown up and responsible now, and Sid really trusts him to manage this bar. It's kind of like he's Sid's son. Ryan is basically little Sid.
That's actually David Gregory's band shirt.
Omar!
He's gone.
Omar!
Oh, I think I'm wearing the same shirt.
You were.
Oh my gosh!
Whoops.
We just talked to the
If you missed it, Sid is dead. That's the teaser cliffhanger. Sid is dead. Dead.
Scott Evans was on Next
If you're living with HIV, keep being you and ask your doctor about Biktarvy. Biktarvy is a complete one pill.
I was just saying a little background on Scott Evans. He was on One Life to Live for a while.
Oh, Scott, yep.
Scott.
Fish. Oh, we're back. Just kidding.
Alan, my
me.
What'd you say?
My screen is not smooth.
Right? It's going like
yes.
Yeah, mine too.
As long as it's not doing it for the people watching.
Can you give us a little
Well, if it is, that's not how it is.
Right.
Back in the 70s.
We apologize if the
for
stream
safe
isn't
haven
playing
for people like
because we're
myself.
doing a lot on one time.
were
So
gay
if
back
it's
then,
having a
it was
problem
more
for
than
anybody,
just
go back and watch it, please.
Okay, Tom, is it
was
playing
illegal.
for you?
Well, I'm in the same program as you. That's the legendary Michael West cameoing as piano player, theater legend.
Kristen Alderson's name. Hey, Dave's my name.
That's your name.
He was trying to hustle me. No, yeah, I was. He was.
You were trying to hustle me. Just stop it. Stop it. He was a
That
kid.
shirt I wore 2 days ago, the one that Scott Evans was wearing.
Scared, shy, believe it or not, hungry, living in the streets. So I guess my
Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
I gave
I thought Robert Newman was gay because he's so handsome and so liberal. When I cast him, I thought he was gay, and then we were talking, and he mentioned that his wife read the script and loved it, and I was like, "Your wife? Is that what you call your husband?"
Like, and here, why don't you take a turn in the hot seat, see how you feel about it? Now, come on, sit down, Ryan. It'll be okay. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Eileen, Kristen.
Okay. All right, have a seat.
Lucia.
Undress me.
Pat.
Why don't you just tell me a little bit about
Alex
yourself?
Newell. Robert Newman.
It hired me as manager like 7 years ago. Since then, I
mean a little bit about your history.
So, backstory. Everyone, pay attention.
well, there's been a lot of history made at Melange. 1977.
Ryan, sorry, I'm not making myself clear, I guess. I have plenty of sound bites about the history of the bar. I meant more about your history.
What do you mean?
Well, like your family, your mother's organization, for instance.
Oh, I didn't want to talk about
Anna says he's hot.
You weren't going to ask me about that.
He is.
You know what? Shut the camera off. I'm done.
Uh-oh. Yeah, mysterious guest.
Ready? What are we about to see?
Uh-oh.
I know.
Woo!
Baby girl.
Is she Amish?
It was hot that day. Hot. Very, very sweaty. And we were walking along the streets filming this, and Tom and Gary said, "Why don't we just run over to Times Square? It's 1 block over." So we all walked over, and then this beautiful shot was
Really beautiful shot.
And you look about, I don't know, between 10 and 12.
Yeah, she does. Looks really young.
Gary Donatelli is a multi-Emmy award-winning director from One Life to Live. Just so y'all know.
I've known him since I was 6.
Honestly,
Legend. Danielle Williams.
I've been.
Tom, one of the fans just said you shouldn't have killed Robert Newman off so quick. He's such a
You'll
talent.
see him. There are devices.
Obviously, a bit difficult with everything that's going on here, but I think it's preparing me for what comes next.
He's in every script. Don't worry.
Enough can really prepare you for telling a patient he's got 3 months to live, especially when that patient is one of your dearest friends.
I'm so sorry. This must be so hard for you. And Jay didn't mean to be so insensitive.
Of course. I'm really sorry.
I gave the costume designer Somi $9 to all look together.
Really?
Everyone was so helpful bringing in their own clothes and whatnot too. And Christopher Paulu from Project Runway made that dress up.
Your heart will break like mine, and you'll want me only after
Sorry to talk business, Ryan, but
That dress actually was in Diana DeGarmo's closet, so we love her.
Carter. Now
Wow.
the best time to start business.
Seriously, Carter, some of us are mourning.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm mourning too. Okay, Melissa? You're so tactful. I promise you I'm mourning too. Look around. Everyone is mourning.
Of course.
Get her!
Afterwards, I'll tell you how I originally wrote that line and how my husband told me people don't speak like that.
Yeah. Okay.
After you've gone away.
That's not where it goes. Hey, that is not an act break.
So, Tom, fans were asking if there'll be more episodes.
God, I hope so.
Yes.
Otherwise, that was a very expensive pilot.
Blogger. I'm so sorry about Sid.
Kristen Hilton, ladies and gentlemen.
I probably wouldn't be where I am today.
Well, in that case, make sure you put a positive spin on whatever you say or write about today.
I'll keep it classy.
Huh. The first time for everything, right?
Get him.
Take care of Ryan. You're his rock. He's gonna need all the support he can get to keep this bar from imploding.
Hey, Briggs, I've been meaning to talk to you about running a story on closing the remaining kill shelters.
That is my Planned Parenthood pin on her.
I was very excited to meet Perez Hilton at the rap party because I was a big fan, and that was a really cool part of the show to be able to meet him.
Right?
It was cool.
He's so much nicer than anyone would ever believe or imagine.
Such a nice guy. So excited to be a part of this.
Yep.
So this song, Alan, is the story we told about Diana when you had Diana on.
Yeah.
That she had literally an hour notice
Right.
she was going to
Celebrate
think.
the life of Dorian Sidney
never
Winston.
And my favorite entrance
Theme was
soon.
that this place would be a safe haven for all of us.
This was one of Sid's favorite songs.
That outfit is so fabulous.
Good, that's a good shot.
Amazing.
Totally.
He borrowed it from me for an event and never gave it back. Oh, drama. Oh.
Can't do it.
So good. So good.
Look for the silver lining.
Closest runner-up in the history of American Idol and over 400 million votes came.
Wow. Remember somewhere the sun is shining.
That is soap opera.
Right.
Just make it shine for you.
I will never forget years ago, after a police raid,
Sid gave me my first job as head of security. Who would have thought I'd be the first?
I wrote these all as really long monologues and didn't tell any of them that we were going to do a montage.
Key line that he just said. Key line. Just
Ryan.
the whole thing. That he's a first transgender.
So much of Sid and Ryan.
Did you know, Tom, you were going to do it as a montage, though, when you wrote it?
Yes,
Yes, it did.
but I didn't tell them.
Not mean the death of Melange. So all of us got to keep the stream going and its legacy alive.
Her voice is amazing.
It's not a good.
Totally.
Like the quiet elegance of Mark is like exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for being here. Sid wanted tonight.
Get ready for a Falcon Crest shout out.
It's appropriate that we end the night with a toast to his legacy, to cheap drinks, free love, and most of all, to Melange. A toast.
Everyone
to you,
cheers.
Melange, and long may you.
Not so fast.
I'm sorry. Were you a friend of Sid's?
Oh, I suppose you could say that. My name is Vivian King.
I get chills.
Vivian King Winchester. I'm Sid's wife.
The music's so good too.
Can I say something super quick? Okay. That's all original music. Andrew did it all in like a day. He's brilliant and will do the whole series. But something to look at in the next act. So Morgan comes in and she was brilliant. She did it all in one take.
Yes.
It was 100 degrees. She's wearing the fur coat that came out of Project Runway, Christopher Paolu's closet, by the way.
Wow.
And so what I want you to notice is all of the audience shots we've had to film the next day using a Morgan body double because everyone who was in the seats, they were so mesmerized by Morgan's performance that they were out of the show. They were looking at Morgan like, and then when she finished her monologue, they burst into applause. Because it's brilliant. She's brilliant. But the next day, we had to literally redo the whole scene just to get the audience reaction.
That's so funny.
And give them direction, saying like, no, and Morgan actually said, honey, when we film next time, maybe I should go sit and talk to the extras a little so I can really be in the scene because I want them to give it back to me when I'm looking in their eyes. She's so great like that. So that is something to look at in the next act.
Team player, she's awesome.
Oh.
Great.
Yes, there you are, man.
Oh, the bitch is back. Sid has a wife. Oh, Sid is rich.
I never thought she'd have the nerve to show her face around here ever again.
That's my husband in the red.
Close your mouth, dear. You heard me right.
Brendan.
I'm Sid's widow.
It's impossible. How? When?
Oh, honey, surely you know that the world spun a little while before you were born. Sid and I were childhood sweethearts. We were married in the summer of 1975. I wore Chanel. And there, for a moment in time, we were actually very happy together. Oh, I see that look. Honey, your face is about as subtle as that outfit. Now, I was fully aware that my husband enjoyed the company of other men. The 70s were all about free love. Sid was all about free love.
Yeah, everybody here knows that Sid was about free love. That's why he opened Melange.
Maya's funeral attire
Family
is
like the Winchesters
during this, isn't it?
a trust fund without some.
Booty shorts to a funeral.
Yeah, what do you say?
I agreed to marry Sid so he could inherit his trust fund and open this place. But in return, he promised me a normal life. But Sid just couldn't do normal. So he kept seeing other men, and eventually he became obsessed with creating a safe haven for them. Didn't take long for Sid's dream to turn into my nightmare. I think I could have handled sharing him with other men, but I'll be damned if I would share him with a whole seedy nightclub full of degenerates.
Good take, Omar. Good take, Omar.
Disrespect his memory or his achievements, especially not here at Melange. So just go, all right? You don't belong here.
Oh, you think you're the first gay man who ever told me I didn't belong here? There would be no Melange without me.
Maya, that happened. I love it.
I was too young to realize I was just being used. So I agreed to marry him. He had got his inheritance. But when he opened this place, I ceased to exist. I just became an afterthought. Even in death, I am an afterthought.
Any shot without
I
Morgan.
had to find out about his
in the room.
passing on BriggsBaxter.com.
Of course. Where else?
And Ryan, all these years, you're so self-centered. You didn't even know I existed.
Hey, leave him alone.
Why do you even care about this bar? You took all of Sid's money in the divorce so you could start your hotel empire. You don't need this, and we don't need you. So get on your broom and head back west.
Oh, Dolly, you never change. Still wearing the same teenage fashions. Honey, they do call it Forever 21, not Forever 61.
If you cared about Sid at all, you would stop this now.
Oh, if I cared about Sid? Honey, I loved Sid. I loved you.
Emote to a
And you
portrait.
always loved this place more than me. Well, now you're dead, and I hope the damn bar dies with you.
That it.
No! Lady, you picked the wrong funeral crash.
Oh, cops. I love cops.
If you don't leave right now, I'm taking you in.
Oh, come on, lady.
So sexy.
We're through here.
I want to mute you guys. Sorry.
Is the dog part of the scene?
No, that's in Maya's
Story
house.
is gonna end up lonely.
Carlos!
Crashing a funeral is now off the bucket list. Viv, what was that? That was only the beginning.
The music.
So epic.
Okay.
Closer.
Epic.
So, all right, I want to two little things.
Still works?
Yeah, I don't.
So, my husband just yelled because my husband Michael actually edited the episode, and he had never done that before, and he learned on the fly, and it did a great job. But reminded me that the all of Morgan's edits happened because there was a fly in the room, and you could see the fly in every shot. So we literally had to edit around the fly.
We're talking about the fly?
The fly, which landed on your face and sat there for, it just got on her face. And you know, Maya spends 17 hours in makeup before she goes on set. So there must have been so much makeup on there. The fly just stuck to it. It was like, ah! But the bane of that scene's existence was this fly. Then
It was terrible.
and it was 100 degrees, literally. I think it was 98 degrees. We couldn't have the AC on because it came into the shot. And that scene of them walking down the hall where Morgan scratches the chalkboard, we did 2 takes. Everyone is exhausted, so hot. We're like 3 hours overtime at this point. And we really didn't get the shot. And I could just see the morale was just down. So I told a little white lie. And I said, oh, you know what? I think we have to do that again. Jessica accidentally said crashing a wedding is off the bucket list and it's a funeral. And then I pulled her aside after and I went, I knew you'd be fine with it if I blamed it on you, honey. It's cool. We just needed to, I didn't want to annoy Morgan.
Oh, bad dog.
I told her.
Oh, geez. She's
Oh.
back.
The baby girl.
Oh, about to get real.
That was
Clutch your pearls.
that bag was actually the 80s bag, and it was filled with scripts and things for the show. It was so heavy.
We forgot to give her a bag.
Yes.
Prop, Brendan.
We, their family and friends, anxiously and patiently await their return or just to hear news of their whereabouts. Amen.
I think we had to schedule some kind of a hookup to get that Bible from a hotel.
So Gary Donatelli, we were outside and he was like, okay, we're gonna film this, and he was like, you're gonna sit there and then you're gonna go down and then you're gonna just say your line. So I said, okay, it happens.
Wait, Omar, you're revealing pants are on.
Oh,
It's the hardest chair to get into ever.
That's what he said.
There were full arms on the chair. It was impossible. Gymnastics.
it looks natural. You did a good job.
Thanks. Sucking in my stomach and trying to get over it.
That is all filmed in an office building that we also used as Morgan's headquarters and Dolly, Eileen Kristen's apartment.
Keep working on
And the
that.
coffee shop. It's all an office building that we took over for the weekend.
Otherwise, kind of spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and I think you could use the
Us gays are everywhere.
No,
Talking to everybody.
so much to do before.
That's my best friend Mark Rosenberg's book, Eating My Feelings on Top.
I like the black hat look on you.
Thank you.
Those art pieces are from Alba Somoza, who has cerebral palsy and paints using a fabulous machine.
This was filmed in that building too?
Yep.
Look at that guy with that short circling melange ready to attack.
I love her. How do you know she's going to attack someone?
Anne Ramsey took the Hillary Clinton t-shirt off my body for this scene because she wanted it.
Because she's
That said,
crazy?
I told you so, Hillary Clinton.
Devil incarnate. You don't really have what you sent to Sid. So
The magnets on the refrigerator are from Broadway legend Christine Petty.
Gotta go through me first.
If you're going to be any good to anyone, you got to take care of yourself, okay? And that means no more cookie dough. Thank you. You know it. You know it. Okay. Why don't I make you like some tea, like some candles, make you a hot bath?
How about coffee in the shower? And a cigarette.
No more cigarette. Thank you. Thank you. You know it. Thank you, babe. And this is disgusting. Thank you, babe.
Thank you, babe.
You're right.
That is not in the script, but we appreciate it.
I gotta get my game if I'm gonna help Ryan. But mark my word, this king is
You ready for the close-up?
as we speak.
Oh, good.
In, boom. Classic.
I need to call the California office and have them cancel
Now,
all
when
my
you are a
weddings.
soap villain, you are always drinking, no matter what time of day it is. And you are always drinking up shelf.
I do not want to delay that opening. And
Look at Jessica. She's gorgeous.
So beautiful, Jessica.
Love
too.
that red dress with the red in the background.
She had just had a baby. And she looked like that.
Did you know that you are the number one trending story on BriggsBaxter.com? He's calling you Vindictive Vivian.
ooh, isn't he the clever?
Oh, we own BriggsBaxter.com. If you go to BriggsBaxter.com, it actually is the site.
No way.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
A link to our new hotel.
Did you buy it or it really existed before?
It's on launch. Yeah, you go to BriggsBaxter.com.
Baxter.
Smart.
Do you have any other updates for me?
It's formatted the way PerezSilker.com was formatted in the old days.
Oh.
BIZBAXTER.
Yeah. BRIGGS. Briggs.
Call for the car if we're going to make our flight.
Oh,
on
look
time.
at those sleeves.
Those sleeves.
Another
much work
beauty in
to
red.
Nisha is out today. Oh, Carroll, would you?
Nisha was actually a woman who shared a cubicle with me when I worked on the Hillary Clinton campaign. A fabulous young lady.
Can you let her say the line?
Exactly 20. And then make sure they do the phone the way I like it, with a little smiley face.
We can stop on our way to the airport.
Oh, should I tell her, or do you want to?
Tell me what?
We are not going to the airport. No, ladies, we are staying right here indefinitely. Hope you packed for it.
That was a Morgan improv. I did not write that line.
I like it though.
I love it.
Oh, freaking good.
Tom, can you spell the website
If
again?
you're living with HIV,
Yep, it's www.briggs, BRIGGS, Baxter, BAXTER.com.
I'm going to write it in because fans are asking. Perfect. Great, great, great. They were just asking about it.
Yay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Do you really have to do that here? Okay, between your makeshift dressing room and all the coffee you take, I'm gonna get.
That's a waiting area in an office, and my husband and my protege, Brendan, turned it into a coffee shop.
I can't believe what happened at the memorial service. Oh, look, I mean, the gay internet is exploding, right?
That was not actually stained glass windows. That
No,
was-
those weren't stained glass windows. They made them stained glass.
Mhm.
That's Broadway's Susie Locher in the back as an extra.
Tom, I don't know if he's a friend of yours, but somebody's saying they're breaking their month-long sobriety for this and having a drink.
You know what? Is that you?
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, look at how hot David Gregory looks in this.
He's so handsome.
So handsome and
oh god,
down to earth person.
Over Ryan.
Lovely.
We just need more shirtless scenes of him. Those abs.
I mean, Tom, it's a really ugly cast. I mean, could you get any?
Ego.
Ryan is my best
Prettier
friend,
women
but
or
he's more like
handsomer
my
men?
soulmate, and he is going through it
Everybody's
right
so
now.
beautiful.
They are beautiful. Inside and out, though.
Yeah,
Ryan is
truly.
about sex. It's on a different level than
That is Natalia from Guiding Light. Somebody
or
asked.
whatever he has.
Yes, Jessica Lucia.
Okay, I don't even know how to respond to that.
What? I
When
thought
in
you
marriage,
were like
someone
you.
has to live.
Tom, was her hair like that? Her hair was dyed like that already?
Yes.
Yes.
What a great, it's so perfect for the character.
I need some attention.
No.
Because I asked her first on the next break, I can tell you who else I offered the role to, because Diana had first.
This is fabulous. I love this
What do
scene.
you want?
Can I please have cafe au lait, double non-fat cappuccino, make sure the foam isn't too heavy, and the shots are brewed for exactly 20 seconds. The world could end if they're brewed for 21 seconds.
Your boss is quite a piece of work.
You have no idea.
Actually, I do. I was at the memorial service that you crashed last night. Does it feel good to be a gopher for someone like that?
Actually, it feels great. I am head of global operations for King Enterprises. And you are a barista that wears far too much eye makeup. Now, where's the restroom? I'd like to powder my nose.
It's in the
The
back.
look you give here is amazing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
How often does that happen in real life? Always.
In my world, every day.
Why is there a
Always.
block of wood attached to this key?
If you're touching a bathroom key, always.
Oh, Father is reading Sid's will at 10.
I can get over there. I gotta be there myself. Professional services have been requested.
Oh, we request later. Okay, good. Let's go check on Ryan.
Legs.
Stop everything you're doing. Put on your Sunday best. We're going to Melange.
We're going to Melange.
Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
Woo! What's gonna happen?
Oh my gosh.
What are we going to do at Melange?
What are we gonna do? What aren't we gonna do is the question.
Times it could probably, or 5 times it can probably.
Oh, and Alex Newell was still in Once on This Island when we were filming, and we were running late. Alex had a matinee on Broadway, so Alex is supposed to be there, but for everything you just saw, Alex is not there. And actually, it's not the most consistent. If you go back and look, knowing that, you can actually watch it and go, wait, where'd Alex go?
Oh, okay, in the table.
Really?
Between
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, the character is they, but Alex identifies as he. So
right.
He was at his matinee, but they were not at the table.
You know what's funny though? When he said, "Oh hell no," it almost makes sense that he could have put the phone down and flipped out. And
But we see him again.
right, but he could have stormed out and gone.
Come back.
Good job. Keep
Sure.
going.
And for anybody who doesn't know, that's Mark from Ugly Betty, who was so great on that show.
Oh my God, Alan. So like 3 weeks ago, someone posted, "Oh my God, this is Ugly Betty meets One Life to Live," which is the greatest thing anyone's ever said about me in my life. And I thought, oh, I should revisit Ugly Betty. I loved Ugly Betty. And I put it on and I'm sitting there watching it and I'm about 35 minutes into it. Like, this show is great. And I'm like, wait, I know him. That's Mark. He's in my show. And he's so good, even at that young age, that I was so instantly taken into the character of Justin that I literally forgot that it was the same person. He's that good.
He was, first of all, the show was great, but he was really great on that too.
Brilliant.
He was great to work with. So nice.
If
And
he
I
doesn't
love
come back, I'll die.
The eyeliner looks so cute.
I know.
I say cute a lot. Oh God. It should be like drink every time Kristen says.
So we're doing this now. Whatever it is you're doing with these photos on your phone.
Genesis, calm down. It is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal that we're in a relationship and this random man is texting you about coming over to play doctor.
It is not what you think.
Oh.
He doesn't mean anything to me. It's just a business thing.
Oh, I know that med school is very interactive, but don't tell me that this old man is helping you with your anatomy class.
I'm already working 2 jobs on top of my course load, and I'm still coming up short. These guys, They help me with my bills in exchange for some attention.
Are you telling me you're a rent boy?
Not exactly.
Oh, great. So my boyfriend's a hooker.
No, Genesis, you're overreacting, all right? Are you finished?
I'm finished with you. I gotta get out of here, and don't try to charge me for services rendered.
Genesis, you're being way too overdramatic.
Dramatic? No, honey, that wasn't dramatic. That was.
Are you done yet?
No. Now we're done. JJ, don't touch me. You don't ever get to touch me ever again. I don't know where those hands have been.
Flip that scarf.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Questions are for customers only.
Do you have an herbal tea?
Look, I'm really busy right now. Like, I have 2 lattes to make. I'm really understaffed, and I have to now refill these waters, so I will get to you when I can.
Tom, you wrote, "Do you have an herbal tea?" that day, like right before that.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
And we had to film this the next day because Taylor didn't arrive.
It's Zachariah.
Zachariah, that's Ryan Parker.
You know him?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows him.
Kristen, you're
He's
so
like the
good.
Prince of Melange.
You have to tell me where I can find him.
Maybe I will. Just put a few bucks in that tip jar.
My eyes are just ridiculously
You
big.
guys are perfect.
You're amazing. You tell such a story.
We had to film that Zachariah clip the next day, so I slept in that bun at the hotel room.
So we didn't have to redo hair and makeup, and we didn't have time to redo the so she slept in the bun.
So, she's so great.
I love that.
You do know that as executive.
Darnell was originally didn't have every day available, and at the last minute he had this day available, so I worked with him at the last minute to have more Darnell.
I'm aware of what my duties are.
I'm just trying to prepare you. It's a lot of work, responsibility. You know, he wanted it done immediately.
Well, I was with him at the very end, and he made his wishes very clear.
I'm sorry to say he died with a lot of debt.
Carter,
Yeah,
I'm on top of it.
I know.
I will handle everything.
TV royalty.
So good.
He's unbelievable. He changed the game. He was one of the, I mean, he literally.
Walgreens makes it safe and easy with quick same-day delivery so you can keep your summer.
Yeah, I loved it. Jesse and Andy, right?
Jesse and Angie.
Love
It changed everything. It changed everything.
Well, I saw people like me on soap operas. I never saw people like me on soap operas ever.
And portrayed the way they were portrayed as, I mean, it really was, it was just huge.
They were amazing. I got to do a scene with them once, and it was epic.
You did?
To work with, yeah, we did a what if episode. So it was what if one character met another character.
On going, no matter what. And after what that bitch pulled at the
I
memorial,
love that it just says dumpster gaze.
I know.
Take away the bad juice.
Leave it to YouTube.
I'm just saying it's a little gauche.
A little ghost.
A little ghost.
We
That's
have
our favorite
our
line.
sadness and tragedy here, but those doors stay open, and that is not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
I use Gauche in my everyday now.
Well, good. Thank you.
How you doing?
Omar, you're such a wonderful leading man. Like, just look at the strength you walk in with.
Beautiful.
So sweet. The beer.
Yeah.
It's coming from the beard.
Nah.
Coming
from your eyes.
No, it's been all night Googling Vivian.
Gorgeous.
Can I talk to you privately?
Sure. What's up? What could be more pressing than Sid's will?
My work visa expired 6 weeks ago.
How could you let something like that
I
happen?
mean, Sid was dying, and it didn't feel like the time to bring it up. And as things got worse, it got out of hand. And now with Vivian, it just doesn't feel like things are going to calm down.
We got to talk about Vivian.
Yeah, I've researched all I can about her. Isn't she the dynamo?
She's bitter, she is ruthless, and she plays dirty. And she built her entire hotel empire blackmailing Sydney for every penny he's got.
It wasn't that bad.
Worse than that, she stole his innocence and she stole his inheritance.
I'm obsessed with that story.
Well, if I know Vivian King, I am so sorry that I do.
If you go as her, if you go as Dolly for Halloween,
I'm good at my
please send
job. I'm going to
photos.
apply for a work visa right away.
I fell in love with
We'll get it
that.
expedited. Don't. It's
You two are so great together.
The new owners don't agree.
It's so.
I'm going to find new sponsors so quickly.
I'm going to put in so much of you two together.
Yeah.
Casey? Babe, we should start the reading of the will.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Shouldn't take too long. Sid only had one asset, Melange. We all know Sid had a flair for the dramatic, right? And so a couple months ago when he was diagnosed that he was terminal, he had Hunter.
That's
He
great.
hired him
All
to
three of you are great there. Her breakdown,
film his
you
final
touched it.
scene.
It's
So thank you,
great.
Hunter.
Come on over, guys. Get it all queued up for you. Get it all queued up.
All that.
Because I love that. I love the
You really feel
organic.
like you've all known each other for a really long time.
It's so you guys are. You make my cheap words look good. Honestly,
It looks like
So
a group
fun.
of friends that's been around, together for a long time.
Ryan Parker, with one or two minor strings.
Am I the only one that think he is
So I
so?
hope you make a fine living off the
Like,
club.
look at that, daddy.
You may never sell
Oh,
it.
I love
game.
my Robert Newman.
God,
There will be
piercing
lifetime
eyes.
installments.
His daughter said the scarf was a little too much.
Well, she's a lesbian. That's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Carter to bore you with the rest of the details.
We were giving a shout out to Hanky Coat.
You both to run Melange the way I ran it for 40 years.
Yeah, his eyes are just wow.
Stunning.
Cheap drinks and free love, baby.
Reva and Josh.
God bless that man. The bar is ours, and there ain't a thing that Vivian King can do about it.
Kristen always did have to have the last word.
But not this time,
Well,
Ryan.
Ryan,
Actually, I have a little something to add.
I would like you all to notice they all changed their
No,
outfits
and
in the last 10 minutes.
No one is interested in hearing what you have to say, Vivian.
Oh, and I can't even begin to tell you how tasteless it is. You didn't even bother to wait for the grieving widow.
You have some nerve showing that face here after being humiliated at the memorial.
Great line, Omar.
Humiliated or something. Little man, I don't know who you think you're trying to read, but this is Vivian King. Be prepared to bow down.
No, it's okay, Carroll. Put your claws back. Ryan's life partner was just attempting to be gallant. Oh, God, that is the current politically correct term, right?
All your power and success has not changed you one bit, has it? Still as malicious as ever.
You know, I
There were
guess
5
that's
takes.
something
The
about
only
you,
one he
Doctor.
did like that, and yes,
I mean, here you are,
Yes.
a world-renowned oncologist, and yet still just Sid's little errand boy.
Wow. That's tacky even for you, babe. Why don't one of you have some class and get her out of here?
We don't plan on staying long.
We haven't officially met.
Uh-oh.
Ava
Me
Sotomayor. I'm Miss King's attorney.
Ava Sotomayor. I love her name.
Ryan Parker's attorney.
it's a cross between Sonia Sotomayor and
Yeah.
We just wanted to see what was
I
in
love
the
the love
Did
affair.
you see the chemistry between them? Uh-oh.
It's in the will.
Uh-oh.
That is so predictably boring. But then, it's not the first time Sid has just cast his wife aside.
Stop saying wife. You're his ex-wife. You haven't been his wife for 40 years, so give it a rest, Viv.
Oh, Dolly Faye. 4 long decades, and you are still just that little beat behind everyone. But of course, like that rat's nest on your head, things aren't always what they appear to be.
No, you didn't.
Sid and I were never divorced.
Oh.
Oh, no, that can't be.
Wait, what does that mean?
Well, I think you know what that means, Ryan.
Oh.
That means I own Melange. The queen is dead. Long live the king.
So good.
Yeah.
That music.
That was so good.
Maya, I have to know, did you do that in multiple takes, the bow down? Did you think of that, or was that on the spot?
I can tell you right now where that came from.
Okay.
Okay, so not to interrupt you, gorgeous, but so we were pulled very thin. This came together really quickly. We had to put this whole thing together in what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And I mean, and we had to, and it was an impossible mission to begin with. To do 44 pages in 4 days with a cast of 17, with the money we had. And then it all got greenlit with no time. So everyone that, was in the family beforehand, Omar, get ready because you're in the family now. So it gets less glamorous as it goes on.
Amazing.
But So, Maya lives in Rockland County, where things are a little cheaper than New York City. So we were doing craft services. So I sent her a list, and you went to BJ's or Costco's, right?
Yes, I went to BJ's.
So she went to BJ's for us and got it all because it was so much cheaper than me going to Dwayne Reed. And she drove it in the night before we started filming. And she was outside my apartment building, and we were talking about it. And that's where we started talking through Be Prepared to Bow Down. It was literally on 42nd Street in front of my apartment building.
Over
Tito's.
That should have been filmed for an electronic press kit, like an EPK of the two of you on the street.
And I'm on the phone trying to fundraise because I needed I think 30,000 more or something, and we were going into production the next morning. I got it. And she pulls up, and I'm on the phone giving her the thumbs up, and
excited.
Well, let me tell you, we're getting a lot of applause on the side.
Well, that's nice.
Somebody said, no. We need to know more about Kristen's character. That is a big hanging thread.
Well, I promise.
Omar, I think you're getting a hot something. I think it's a bomb.
Oh, maybe I bombed. Maybe it's bad.
No. Hot. No. It's a hot. Somebody's putting that up. Everybody, the queen isn't dead. They love the line.
Yes.
They love it.
It's beautiful.
Everybody loved it. And they love the color scheme switch of the outfits.
Oh, was it? Thank you for noticing that. So me. Yeah. It was, their outfits were they're always in primary colors.
Yeah.
And I need to find the comment that was much earlier, but they were talking about that it was like One Life to Live, Search for Tomorrow, Falcon Crest. Like there were so many things.
We're calling it Gay Dynasty.
All my children, Guiding Light. All of the shows. Like it's a daytime fan's dream. One Life to Live. There's somebody from every show in this production.
If anyone was going to create a daytime fan's dream, it would be the biggest daytime fan. Who literally has it tattooed on his ankle.
Well, I do. I do have a One Life to Live, All My Children tattoo.
So Tom came at his wedding. He entered his.
Oh, I walked down the aisle. Yes, to the One Life to Live, the Peebo Bryson theme. I walked down the aisle to the One Life to Live theme song.
No kidding.
I did.
Tom, I love that.
No, that one. Find the rainbows.
Yeah, the definitive one. Yes, Kristen. Before you were.
But it was fast. Did anyone do a slow version of it when you walked down the aisle?
No, because that is the definitive One Life to Live theme song, and that's what I walked down to.
I love that.
And I want you to know, I did literally, as I met my husband and her, who married us, Maya got ordained and married me and my husband. On the button of it, I did the Dorian Lord pose. I turned and went, and I did the Dorian pose.
100%.
I love that.
I did.
So after we got married, coming up the aisle, because I'm a big Charlie's Angels, we played the Charlie's Angels theme song.
Fabulous.
It's romantic. So I get it. I totally get it. Tom, we need you to talk about some of the things you have planned, your ideas.
Absolutely. But I just want to, for everyone watching, and what Kristen said is, my biggest goal for this was to do a show that I would watch, because, the serialized drama, it's my life. It's all I watch. Anyone can tell you, anytime Kristen texts me, I'm watching a random One Life to Live or an All My Children or a Falcon Crest or a Dynasty or a Knots Landing. It's literally every second of free time I have is spent just living in this genre that has treated me so well, that I have escaped to during every rough moment of my life for 40 years. And I wanted to do a show that was clearly inspired by the influence of Agnes Nixon, who shattered the glass ceiling and busted into the man's writer's room and created a couple of the greatest shows that ever existed that changed the world. And we were talking about Pride, and it shows like One Life to Live that a 13-year-old boy like me in the 90s can watch the AIDS quilt on the television, can watch young Ryan Phillippe play Billy Douglas, a gay teen who's being thrown out of his home from his father. And then Erica Slezak, 6-time Emmy Award winner, the idol of millions, gives a speech at St. James Church about why it is wrong to turn your back on your gay son and why there's nothing wrong. And she gave that sermon in a church. So literally millions of, you know, housewives across America who worshiped this woman, Vicki Buchanan, who have watched her for 25 years and wanted to be her, who maybe had ideas that being gay was wrong and that if they had a gay son or daughter, it would be the end of the world. They got to watch their idol in 1993 stand up in a church and say there is nothing wrong with this, and to turn your back on your child for being gay is absolutely wrong. And then she went and tore the AIDS quilt. You know, it just the significance of it cannot be overstated. And that's what we're trying to do with this. We're trying to give you classic, ridiculous zoom up takes, you know, but when the drama subsides, I want you to question, what would it be like if you were someone who came from a Muslim country and you were out on Facebook, you were all over social media, you were living your best life, and then all of a sudden you're threatened with deportation, and it's out now. It is an open secret. What is going to happen to you? You know, we can wrap all these stories up in drama like Agnes Nixon did, in ridiculous, over-the-top, campy drama.
She's certainly smiling down.
Oh. Well, I mean, she's fabulous. So, like, that's like the big thing of this show, you know, my hopes. But Kristen's character, if there's so much that's going to happen, so I can tell you she is Scott Evans' sister. That's a spoiler, I'm happy to tell you. And what we're going to see with Kristen is she is also escaping this crazy past that the Scott Evans character of Ryan escaped. And we're gonna watch her, because Scott Evans' character is, you know, years beyond this past. But we're gonna watch Kristen kind of come out of that, and we're gonna watch her be a fish out of water as she enters Melange and this completely new world. And she's gonna have
she was a fish out of water in Times Square, exactly.
Exactly, yes. And you're gonna get to watch her in a gay bar, and you know, perhaps Alex Newell will give her a fabulous makeover, and we're gonna, you know, and we're gonna watch her. We're gonna watch her inner struggle. Wow, these are the nicest people I've ever met. Nobody has ever treated me this well. But I was raised for 20-something years that this is an abomination. This is wrong, you know.
And a lot of people learn from soap operas. I mean, just from me doing the teenage pregnancy storyline, I mean, there were so many parents that had like shunned their kids because their daughter got pregnant or something. And then they watched One Life to Live and they were a huge fan of Star, and they saw, you know, how Blair and Todd accepted her and went through everything with her. And they
after he threw you down a flight of stairs.
What?
After Todd threw you down, it was Victor, but threw you down a flight of stairs.
Well, not because I was pregnant. He just did. That was an accident on the show. Anyway. But no, so it opens up the dialogue to people in their own lives and how they view things and how open or maybe closed off that they are to different things in life. And to be able to see it through their favorite characters or their favorite actors going through it, they'll be able to learn from it. So,
yeah. No, it's awesome.
Well, there's also, Tom, there's a wealth of actors in New York from all of the shows you were speaking of.
Yeah, absolutely.
All My Children, One Life to Live, As the World Turns, and Guiding Light that are no longer on the air. So, you know, I mean, and you're using them.
What I think is awesome is, and people just don't understand this, and I always knew it, but when I started producing theater, I would consistently bring in people from daytime to be in my shows. And, you know, and I think Maya and Omar can tell you from working with Morgan and Eileen, and I guess no one worked with Kristen because she was just alone on the street, but these are the Olympic athletes of actors, okay?
Yeah.
And there is this stigma that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, and you know, that daytime is less than something else. If you were on a daytime show, you're less than a primetime actor, you're less than a movie actor. I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this now professionally for 20 years. It's a lie. There is no one like a soap actor. You hand them a script, they go, got it. And they're off book in 9 seconds. They fully emote. They give you everything you want. And then you go, oh, could you be a little more emotional with that? And they go, you mean like this? And then they'll just sob. No, actually like half that. Oh, yeah. And the tears will literally like detract into their eyes. They know that it's just, they're just the best in the entire industry.
And there are so many primetime actors who couldn't do what the daytime actors do.
No, and
movie stars who can't do what daytime. There have been movie stars who have come and had to leave because they couldn't handle the amount of You know?
And what was awesome on Melange was, Broadway's very similar. Theater's a very similar game where there's no messing around. You just got to get down and dirty. And these guys really just got it and just jumped into the genre. Maya literally was like, oh, this is what this is? I love this, and nailed it. Omar got it instantly.
Like you couldn't tell in those scenes. I mean, the stares are fabulous.
Oh, it's fabulous. I was talking to Morgan on the phone last week, and we were talking about filming and what we're going to do and, what I had planned. And we started talking about Omar and just what a star he is and just how he adapts to things and how exciting it is when Omar's in a scene because he's just such a larger than life presence. And Morgan kept saying, like, you just notice his eyes. He just has such a spark in his eyes when he performs. He's such a star, The
speed at which we worked was unbelievable and incredible. And it was a real challenge, I'll tell you that much. I mean,
crazy.
It was unbelievable.
Can I say something great about soap actors? So stage theater, yep, you do have to be on your toes constantly, but you are telling the same story every night. It's definitely
right.
8 shows a week, but you're telling the same story. Soap actors, it's every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And sometimes you have monologues like that every day, depending, right, how the storyline goes.
Right.
And
they could have 40 pages today, take that all in, have to go home and learn another 40 pages for tomorrow.
Absolutely. And hook you.
Right.
Yeah.
And exactly. And connect. And that's hard. I cannot even begin to say, no, that's really, really hard. Kristen, I don't know how you do it.
But you know what? I think that there are different crafts. Like for each genre, you have to learn. So for a movie set, my brother did a movie when he was younger, and I went on set, and they did 1 page the entire day. And I was practically falling asleep just waiting around, and I'm going, how are they working this way? How do people do this when they are working on that? Is a lot to keep yourself awake and keep yourself interested and wanting to do the same scene over and over and over again. And Broadway, I mean, to tell the same story every night, but to have the same feeling and to be attached to it, regardless of what you did during that day, and you're so used to saying there's a different.
Excuse me, Lisa, can you let?
Yeah, I mean, think of Maya's role, Mimi. My God, the energy.
Oh my God.
Night after night, 8 shows a week. That energy is out the door.
Oh my God. But to point, when you're telling a story like Rent, it was, you wanted to tell that story, and you felt like a failure if you didn't go there. I couldn't live with that. I didn't do that, but
that's an amazing actress.
Right. And you're really telling a, beautiful story that needs to be told. Right. Tom, before we end this, especially because the fans are loving it and they're asking for more, what can they, what can they do to help?
Just send people to watch it. Follow us on social media. I'm talking to Melange the series on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm talking to a lot of people who are trying to figure it out right now. I would love to film it between the first and second wave of Corona.
Yeah, look, exactly.
There it is.
Right there.
Buddy.
Maybe I might get a petition together. I think it's been overwhelming.
And if you want to watch it again, you can use that easy link. That link will work.
The stuff that's coming is insane. The scripts I feel great about. I just knocked out a new episode 2.
He wrote that episode 2, and it was just
I just knocked it out.
Why does he know about it and I don't?
Same.
I sent
I'm with you, man.
Because Kathy got it.
He sent it to my mom because she had surgery. He's trying to cheer her up.
It's Kathy. Kathy Alderson is everyone's queen. so much happens, like with Omar, like you probably just said, wait, he's in a committed relationship. Why is he worried about his green card? Why doesn't he just marry Ryan? You'll find out real quick. It's a lot what's going on with him. Maya's character, there's a reason she takes so much from Vivian. She has a really deep, dark secret that only Vivian knows. And that's what she's been hanging over her. Kristen has to go to kind of programming therapy. And if all goes well, her therapist will be a very beloved daytime.
Love that.
You see Diana DeGarmo in the episode talk so much about her mother, and we're going to hear more about her mother. And I'm not going to say that I wrote the role of her mother for Andrea Evans and that Andrea Evans is going to play it, but she is. There's so much that's going to happen in the series, and we really have to make sure it does, because it's what I really want to achieve here is there's a new world of entertainment, and I think we all agree some of the cancellations of the daytime shows were horrific, pulling things off the air that were mega hits, that were bringing in $50 million a year profits and whatnot. And it was a knee jerk, and the fans are still there. And I think how we achieve this is to show that the genre is strong. And it is. If you look at anything that's on primetime right now, anything you watch is a serialized drama. It's just not 5 days a week. It's just not 250 episodes. So everything that people were trashing for years is literally all anyone is doing. Go watch The Real Housewives. They have ripped off the daytime format, and it's fabulous. But so what I would love to create now is a true hybrid. I'm not going to be able to do 250 episodes. I would if anyone wants. ABC, if you want Melange, I will give you 200 scripts next week. But I think we need to figure out a hybrid. We have a bank of exquisite performers who do something better than anyone in the world does. And there are millions of people wanting to see this. Erica Slezak guest stars on The Resident. It goes up 3 million viewers for that one episode. This is not a coincidence.
Really?
Yes, the fans are there and they're being ignored. And, and I am a fan. So I want to do a show that is open to the fans. And we talk about
from a fan to the fan.
Exactly. And I'm on all the forums. So you talk about it and I listen. We want the same thing. And I want to prove that because I know it's true. I want to prove that this genre is only beginning. And with every new medium, there is infinite potential. And look at these amazing people. And I'm going to get to show everyone how brilliant Omar Sharif Jr. is. That's a bonus.
It's so great. And you can just tell by the reaction. I mean, people have stayed with us, for an hour and a half to watch this, to talk to you guys.
I love it.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, we're overwhelmed by the response.
It's
been a pleasure.
They're the best.
Keep looking for word on Melange, everybody. Watch it again if you want. Share it with friends. Post it on your page.
Tell your friends to watch it. We need the numbers up.
Cheers to everyone. Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'm going to put you backstage for 1 minute. We can talk back there, and I will sign off.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
We love you.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Tomorrow, As the World Turns with Maura West and Michael Park. See you at